would be quiet for. You guys did a really good job.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was proud of you. Hello there, world. Welcome to episode 9 of Chubby Cat. You made it. You're here. You're listening to our beautiful voices. As always, I am Tom, joined by my two lovely, well-hung brethren.
Yeah, this is Jason.
Yeah.
And this is Sterling.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
You. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, you guys just look like you guys got,
Appreciate it.
rock on.
Got some
You got some luggage in the
oomph.
carry-on.
There you go.
There you go.
That's another
Ooh.
good euphemism.
Yeah.
We got some rope in the bug out bag.
Yeah.
Okay. You and your fucking
You and your
rope.
fucking rope.
I haven't watched that movie in a while.
Good movie.
I have
reference.
not either. I've been really wanting to watch like a whole bunch of movies right now, so I kind of alluded to it last episode that I recently moved. Just trying to save some money. And I got a storage unit because we downsized. And there's like a bunch of movies. I'm like, oh, it's a good movie. I wish I watched that. My wife was like, we should just put all the movies in storage. And I was like, why? And she's like, no, we don't have a place for them. We're just going to put them in storage. And they're at the back end of a 5x15 storage unit, like at the bottom of a stack, like 6 boxes high.
You know what you have to do?
I was just like, what
You have to rebuy all those movies.
No, I just got to dedicate like one day to just pulling everything out of those boxes and then putting everything back
That sounds
in.
like too much work.
That sounds awful, but it's at the
yeah,
same time
but
worth it.
If I look at the value scale of my time, then I say that my time is worth about $25 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the length of time it would take, and I say, worst case scenario, we're talking about 2 hours of annoying and hot labor in the Southern California sun.
You have to
Gross
remind you,
labor,
awful, because
yeah.
moving
We're
stuff
talking
out of a storage unit is
we're
god's
talking
awful.
like $50 plus, let's say, another like 30% hazard pay, and we haven't even taken a dent at the amount of movies that I own and how much it would cost to like rebuy all those. So
That's a good point. Though I have been buying a few on digital lately because I've really been growing my digital library, and it's really paid dividends because I seem to not be home a lot, but no matter where I am, I have some sort of electronic device, and I use Voodoo, and
With
it's
Zootopia
awesome.
on it.
With Zootopia. Oh
Like,
yeah.
12
Hardcore.
copies. Deluxe edition, and remastered.
the ones that come with the fursuit.
It's not that bad.
I wanna.
All right, it's just a pair of ears.
And the popsicles.
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 Yep.
Popsicles.
Hey, if
All
you
right.
don't like Zootopia, I may not like you because it's a wonderful movie and I watch it all the time. I'm unabashedly and unafraid to declare my love for that movie.
Okay.
It was a cute movie.
So, you guys survived the holidays, hopefully. We're halfway through. Ate lots of yummy food.
We're
But
actually finally in the acceptable time for Christmas decorations.
yeah, now you know what? You can put up those Christmas trees, start playing your Christmas music, and other stuff.
Or
But
your Kwanzaa cube.
Kwanzaa cube, dreidel.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
That's Hanukkah. You should probably delineate because I don't believe Kwanzaa has
You have the
dreidels.
Kwanzaa
No,
cube.
Kwanzaa cube.
What's it? What? Maybe I just don't know enough about this holiday.
I don't know. I don't want to go into this.
Okay, I
was
was
gonna make a
curious.
joke, but I was like-
I thought you guys knew something that I didn't. I was like, oh.
No, that's an allusion to another great podcast.
Oh, okay.
But so speaking of food and stuff, Jay, you have this drink that you enjoyed to drink, and I want to talk about it because I just don't get it. It's the self-brewing tea that you buy. You know what I'm talking about? The one where you crack the lid and like it makes it into tea.
Oh yeah, the tea of a kind.
Yeah, the tea. I don't get it,
What do you mean it's good?
but I don't get it. Like why?
It just tastes
It
good.
tastes good. I wouldn't care if it came already pre-cracked.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it's just purely a gimmick.
Yeah, it's just cool. I don't
It's
know.
entertaining. Like
That's different.
sometimes tea is
I
boring.
thought you meant
I'll
like it was a
admit it.
holiday thing. I was like, the only holiday drink I drink is Wassail.
Yeah.
Wassail.
Oh, we do drink some Wassail.
And Sterling and I have homebrewed some Wassail before.
Oh God.
Two hilarious dividends. At one point, we were making a batch, and we rolled up to a local supermarket. They're not really around anymore, unfortunately, but it was called Fresh and Easy, and we just we had 4 or 5 different recipes that we'd found online, but they were all subtly different. and we kind of just like blended them all. And so we started grabbing things like allspice and like cinnamon sticks and like slices of apples and orange zest and a bunch of different kinds of apple juice, honeys and like just cloves and just tinctures.
Yeah.
And we just threw it all into this giant like simmering pot on Sterling stove, and we started this like 8 o'clock at night, and we started like brewing it. We put an entire bottle of I think it was
brandy. Is that generic VS brandy? I don't know. You get it.
No, we put half a bottle of brandy, but an entire bottle of it was I think it was a coconut rum.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about the rum.
Oh my god.
And it was
Gross?
No,
actually, it was delightful.
it was so it literally just tasted like apple juice. Like,
Yeah.
could not taste it, but like you would take a bite into an apple and just get like noticeably drunk, like because it was just they just soaked up, and like we had a cup of it, and it was just like a hot mulled cider
Yeah.
that got you shit faced. And at one point we realized like we were just throwing things in, we weren't measuring anything, and we realized that we're like we need some more like apple juice to this mix. We're kind of losing some of that apple flavor, but it was now like 11 o'clock at night. And
You've been
so
doing this for like 3 hours.
It was steeping, and we had to let it sit and simmer, and like it's like a mulled cider.
Yeah.
Is the idea of it. It's like a Viking holiday drink that they would prepare and brew, basically. So we had to roll down to 7-Eleven, and we bought out like 6 bottles of sparkling Martinellis and 1 bottle of just like regular apple juice, and that was all we got. And we just brought it up to the counter, and we cleaned them out, and we just sat on the counter, and the guy looked at it and like was bringing it up. It's all wild night, huh? We're like, yeah.
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 And then we went back and we brewed it, and it was delightful. But then Sterling's dad came downstairs and said it smelled like Pruno, which is prison wine that gets like fermented in like toilets and like under mattresses.
Yeah. Like in between mattresses in prisons.
Oh.
It's
So
pretty.
you make you dump it out.
No.
He just remarked that
That's
it
what it smelled like.
illicit alcohol.
Yeah. He had a cup.
It was really good.
It was good.
But like, we brewed enough for 20 people.
Yeah.
And we had like 2 cups, and we were drunk.
Damn.
We went hard.
And then we're like, well,
Two
probably
cups.
save.
2 cups and some apples. 'Cause-
Yeah, and like half
Oh,
an
those
apple.
apples.
But yeah, it got to the point where like we had to like dump most of it out the next day because it did not keep.
No.
It got pretty gnarly.
Yeah, you
overnight.
drink it hot or you don't drink it.
It reminds me of the time actually where Sterling was having a drama kids party at his house, and everyone was supposed to bring like a dish, and I made fettuccine alfredo, but I made so much fettuccine alfredo that I had to like cook it in a wok that your mom had.
Oh yeah.
I made like fettuccine alfredo enough for like to feed like an army. It was so much pasta. It was ridiculous.
We tend to overdo it when it comes to most food items.
Yeah, I
portion
mean-
control and drink. Portion control is not our strong suit.
Yeah, if we were to like ever open a restaurant, we'd probably go out of business from just like over portioning.
Going ham.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, but
Speaking of Sterling parties, there was a pretty great adventure that Thomas and I once had when we were like 17-ish. We didn't have cars yet.
Oh, you're talking about our walk.
We walked from Thomas's house. And it wasn't like a long walk. It was probably like a 3-mile walk.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like,
bad at all.
But we were walking, and we had a soccer ball. I don't remember why we were bringing the soccer ball. We'd been requested like for a game to bring this soccer ball. And
Wait, was it Sterling's or was it walking? No, it was Sterling.
It was Sterling's,
it wasn't
yeah.
going to the park.
No, it was. We were going to Sterling's house. Maybe we were going to wind up at the park later, but the party was at Sterling's house, and we were bringing just a soccer ball, and we set out, and then my mom called and was like, "Where are you guys?" And we're like, "It's okay. Like we're on his street. Like we're a little farther up, but like we'll be fine." Like
We were like 3 blocks away.
yeah, we're like, it's gonna be cool. And then she's like, "No, you guys are walking?" We're like, "Yeah, it's really cool. Like we'll do all right."
Yeah, we were 3/4 of the way there. No
And-
one had killed us yet.
Yeah.
It's like a road.
And it was like 72 degrees outside. It was like a nice Southern California day.
Yeah, it wasn't at night. It was still sunny outside.
It was like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like
It
it
was
was
just-
good. Like during the summer. Like
yeah, it was just us walking.
and like my mom pulls up and made us get into the car and drove us 6 houses. I was like, what is the point? We're here.
Yeah.
Like, by the time she actually found us, I'm like, we can see his house.
Yeah, or just like literally like at the stop sign before your house.
And she's like, get in. I'll take you up the driveway. I'm like, why? Why?
Like,
We're
I think
not invalids.
she just felt bad because
I
like
think
we
she
hadn't
felt
walking.
bad.
It wasn't that bad.
But it wasn't
though.
like she like bailed on us.
Yeah,
We were just like, oh, we're just home alone. I guess we're just gonna walk.
yeah.
Like, we gotta go. And we just walked. And like we weren't like we didn't like we met like texted her. I'm like, hey, are you available for a ride? And she's like, oh, I'm busy. And we're like, okay. Like, no worries.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was good. It was kind of a real bummer.
Yeah, it was like we were pretending like we were Frodo and Sam
We were
walking to
going
Mordor.
Middle-earth.
Yeah.
And
The only thing I'm curious about is the soccer ball. I cannot for the life of me
I
remember
don't
what the
think
soccer
it
ball
used-
is for.
I remember at all.
I'm pretty sure it played zero part.
Yeah,
in that
just we
party.
had a soccer ball
But
apparently.
We like carried this thing across the
Like, was it during the time we were playing A&E, Assassins and
That's what I'm
Escorts?
saying. I don't know.
Like when we just brought it for like a weapon
if
later
we
that
were
night.
going to the park for it.
Maybe?
I don't think so though.
Yeah.
I think it was for like a drama kid game,
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
but I don't remember what, and I don't think it got used.
probably not.
But we carried it.
We did. We also had a drama kid party where someone broke their arm.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty good. Back when
was-
me and Jason were activities directors, and
That was terse.
we were like, oh, you know what? We're gonna play fun games. And we played Red Rover.
Fun game.
Fun, great game.
Incredibly dangerous once you're past the age of like 6.
Yeah, and the lead of our play at the time broke her wrist. That was pretty good.
That was good.
Yep. I remember D coming up to us and saying like, maybe we just play drama kid games now at these parties. I was like, oh, okay.
It's like, yeah, that's a really good plan.
The worst part is everyone had a really fun time not playing drama kid games.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good time.
There's
the
a
park.
reason.
Yeah,
Drama kid games are only okay.
they're good, but I mean, sometimes
Sometimes.
you just want to do something different.
Sometimes you just want to get a dowel rod and cover it in like a 1/4 inch of insulation foam, and then just beat the shit out of each
Oh,
other.
and
Yeah.
duct tape.
And
Don't
duct
forget.
And duct tape.
Yeah,
in-
lots and
in-
lots of
in a
duct tape.
park. And then sometimes that same summer, Sterling and Jason have a lot of free time, and we go ham and we start forging 8-foot long spears and shields and swords with basket hilts that were great swords, so
Yep.
that you couldn't get hit. And then we roll
Because your
up.
fingers would get messed up.
Your fingers
You
do
would
get
break
messed
a
up.
finger
So
real easy.
Yeah.
we literally took like wire that we wrapped around the dowel rod base, and then we soldered them together, and then we wrapped those in like hockey tape because you could stab yourself on the wire. I like my hilt had or my hand grip had blood on it from like where I blocked wrong, and like one of the wires like went into my hand.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A couple
Multiple
times.
stabbings
But
from those.
It was a lot better than the broken fingers that
Oh,
were,
yeah.
were
Yeah.
happening at first.
My middle and index fingers still hang a little crooked from those games. They're just slightly off.
But then everyone got really upset because we were unkillable. Because we were like, I'm sorry you showed up with like a 6-inch dowel rod dagger, and you didn't think about it. Warfare evolves.
We've been playing this game for a while.
Where were you?
I think
Yeah.
I was
It's
fine
not
with.
it's not my fault. You didn't take pride in your weapons.
Yeah, I was fine with all that because like I kept up with it. Like I built hilts and stuff.
Yeah.
The only time like I was like, okay, we went too far is when Jason bought an axe handle, which was like basically like solid oak, wrapped it in foam, and then basically just destroyed all of our weapons.
I made a
because-
scimitar.
Yeah, I made
Yep,
a scimitar.
made a scimitar, and it was a sword breaker.
Yeah,
It
because I
was
mean,
delightful.
dowel rod versus solid oak, not gonna end well.
No,
But it was pretty
I
awesome.
smashed a few weapons, and then
Yeah.
people were defenseless, and I was like, "It sucks to be
It
you."
was good times. I also enjoyed when the cops would show up and just be like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We're beating each other with sticks." We're like, "The
Basically.
park's closed. Go home." We're like, "Okay."
Okay.
Yeah, at least it was just closed. I mean, it could have been worse. We could have been arrested for beating each other with sticks.
Yeah.
It's kind of a strange
That's
thing
good
that you
times.
get taken to your parents
Do you remember
for.
the time that it was us three against everyone?
Oh, yeah.
That
was
was
a blast.
the game that they got pissed because we had all those cool weapons. And
Yeah.
they're like, what if it's everyone versus you three? And we're like, all right,
All right,
game.
let's do it.
Game
Let's
on.
do this.
We're like the knights raiding the tower in Game of Thrones. What's the tower that Ned goes to?
The
Tower of Joy?
yes. Yeah, Tower of Joy.
Tower of
Pretty fantastic.
Joy. Yeah, it was good times.
So really to break it down for people, I guess we didn't really explain. Think the principles of LARPing, so live action role play, and they use foam sticks, foam weapons, usually with a core of like a PVC pipe. But instead
meant to
of
be
that,
safe.
but they're really safe. It doesn't hurt that bad. It's not even nearly as bad as like say getting hit by a boxing glove lightly. Ours were just very little foam that would break down usually after like 5 or 6 hits too, and we were just hitting each other hard as possible, wailing on each other. I mean, black eyes, bruised ribs, broken fingers. We weren't really messing around. It was fun. Was it like the best, safest idea? No, but it was a blast. This is again those things that
also
your parents say.
Clarify, there were like rules to the melee.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like
you couldn't just like beat each other.
Not a free for all.
No, it was one touch and you were out. Like when it actually touched you. And the idea was that there were 2 teams. There were the assassins, and your job was to basically kill the whole of the team. And there were the escorts, and the escorts escorted a package, which was 1 person.
Yep.
And that person couldn't have any weapons, so they were just like the flag,
defenseless.
basically.
Yeah, they just had to get.
And the escorts, there was your job to keep that person alive. And the assassins could go anywhere within the park, and the escorts had to get to like the playground or something. It was like a set point that you had to like escort the package, basically there.
Yep, it was good.
And they started like on the far like ass end of the park, and you had to like just work your way over.
You know how that game started as well? That started at a drama kid like sleepover after a show.
It did. Bunch of us guys,
and we had one random girl there, and she was the package, and we're like, we'll just defend her, and played at Sterling's house.
And it was like whatever we had available. So
we had like Chode. We had Chode lightsaber
and like a pool noodle. Like just
I had
like
a kendo. I had a kendo stick.
Yeah,
kendo stick. Yeah,
and then it evolved into us like
toy
crafting
chainsaw.
weapons.
Yeah, making weapons. It was good. It was good times.
Yeah,
that was good times.
Adventurous youth.
Yeah, it used to be so cool.
Yeah, man.
Now we're just old.
We are old.
God, I don't want to be old anymore.
I don't think it goes backwards, but you're only as old as you feel. I mean,
and I feel like I'm 80.
Like I'm living like I'm dying, but like I'm on like my deathbed.
Yeah.
Not like any day I could die and I'm living my life to the fullest. I live my life like I'm already about to die.
Yep.
Understandable.
So you guys are both. Man, I feel like I'm a broken record on this, but like a lot of my stuff that pops into my head, it revolves around like relationships and stuff. So you guys both have significant others.
And we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys have songs like is that still a thing? Like, do you guys have like a song like, oh, this is our song?
Well, I'm sure Jason does. I mean,
yeah, I mean he's
married.
married.
To a song, he's married.
Yeah.
Like, what is your song?
Our song is "Chasing Cars" by Snow Patrol.
Okay.
Good song.
That's
very
a good
romantic.
song.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big production kind of thing. It was just very early on in our relationship. It came on like someone's iPod or the radio or something, and we were both like, oh, I love this song. At the same time, I was like, oh, that's a great song. It was something kind of bonded over. And then it was kind of like we're like couldn't really make a thing out of it. And we were picking like our wedding song, and she said, "Do you have a song?" I'm like, "I think if anything, it'd be like Chasing Cars." And she's like, "You're right. Yes, I found our song." Yeah. So it was like, but neither one of us were, like super sentimental. Like,
yeah, it's just like this was a song that brings up good memories.
Yeah, it was like
when we first started.
Like something we instantly agreed on. So yeah.
Nice.
I mean, a big part of my relationship is music. Actually, we bonded over music pretty early on, and one of our first events we went to X Fest down here in San Diego, which is a great concert. They pretty awesome venue, but they bring in multiple bands that do a lot of music. They're so happy. There just happened to be the Congos were there, Wolf Mother, a bunch of other like headliners basically. It was a fantastic show, but if I really had to pick a song, something that we kind of just like bonded over as it kind of happened, I would say it's Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a great song, and just one of those little things. I happened to show it to her, and we're just kind of bonded over that, and it's something that we'll play sometimes in the mornings, and we'll just kind of dance around the apartment and hang out during that.
Yeah, I saw those guys live before, like they were like played on the radio a lot. They give a great show.
Nice.
If you ever can see them, I would definitely recommend.
But yeah, so if I had to say, I would say that's our song. And I've had like other songs that were like significant or became apart with other relationships.
Yeah. No, I meant for like your most recent.
For the current one. Yeah, that's definitely the case.
Yeah.
So, good times.
Yeah, I bring that up because I think the last person I had like a song with was my like high school sweetheart, and she would say it's something different, but I would say our song is "Super Freak" by James Brown, and the reason that is because our first date we saw Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, okay,
and
so that makes sense.
Yeah, and that song's on the soundtrack, and for like our 1 year, she got me the soundtrack to Little Miss Sunshine and stuff like that. And I would always make the joke like, Super Freak's our song. She'd be like, no, it's 1,000 Kisses from Rent, shit like that.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Yeah. And so I remember her dad wasn't strict. He was a really cool guy. But it was like one of those things like, hey, don't call my daughter after this time. Like, she's going to bed and stuff like that. And one night I was at their house and he gave me a ride home. And he gave me authority over the auxiliary cord. And I was like, I'll put my iPod in. I'll play some music. And so I started playing some music and going through some stuff. And, I'm like, what, 15, 16-year-old Thomas? And I'm going through my stuff. And I'm like, oh. And I was kind of like asked Manly, I was like, hey, do you like want to hear me and your daughter's song?
Oh.
And he goes, yeah, okay. And I put it on. I put on Super Freak. And he starts playing, and we're sitting at a light. I remember sitting at the light and the song playing. I remember this man just giving me this look of like, excuse me? And it wasn't until that moment that like, you listen to a song, but it's not until that, like there's like those moments where you just like hear the song.
Hear the song.
Yeah, and I just realized I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever like had a more, because I like didn't turn off the song. We just sat there at this red light.
Oh, you finished
yeah,
the song.
like 10:30 at night, just at this red light. As the song played. And then yeah, that was it. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die.
That was a really unfortunate choice.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate moment.
And like, I don't know. And I never explained like, oh, it's just like a goof, like, because we saw like this.
That
like,
would have
it's
been
just
a good idea. That would have been the right way to go.
Yeah, I just let it hang in there. And I was like, oh no.
It reminds me of Ralphie, given that the holidays just passed, from Christmas Story. Oh, fudge.
Yeah.
Except I didn't say fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of moment.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I was like, oh no.
So that actually transitions nicely into one of my other topics, which is like, what's a great moment where like hindsight was 20/20 for you? Like you did something and like you finished it and you're just like, I screwed up. And like it seems blatantly obvious, like looking back on it, like why on earth would I have done that? But like at the time you were just rolling.
I fucked up.
That's a good one.
I know, that's a great one.
So like I have an example I brought up
let's
today
go.
during dinner. And obviously Thomas had a good example, but we have a mutual acquaintance that I knew through Thomas, and I had known him kind of off and on. He would just kind of come in and out and visit, and like he said something, and I was giving him just crap about it, and I was being like an 18-year-old, and I was like ribbing him about like being gay, and I first of all I have no like homophobic tendency whatsoever. I don't care about your orientation, but it's the kind of thing that as an 18-year-old like kid, like you tend to give people
you
right?
rib
like,
other guys about it. It's is it great? Is
it can be
a
an
mature thing to do, but
insecurity
it's a thing. It happens.
Yeah,
It does,
and
yeah.
it just is what it is, right? And so I was giving him crap about it, and then Thomas turned to me and was like, Jay, like, he kind of shook his head, and I was like, what? And he was like, he was actually like going to tell you in the car. But
Yeah. Literally had just come out to me maybe 45 minutes before we got there with to hang out with Jason and Sterling.
And he was like, yeah, I mean, now's probably a good time, but I'm actually gay.
Yeah.
And like, it was like everything fell like into place, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like-
everyone's chill about it. It was just funny.
but it was funny. Like, it was one of those things where like, I guess when I look back, I'm like, yeah, it kind of like, that does make some sense there. And like,
I stuck my foot in my mouth on
yeah,
this
but
one.
I was just like, oh wow, that was just poor timing. And it was just one of those funny moments where I was like, oh shit, all right, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat those words.
Ooh.
Ooh. So yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah. I have a similar story to that, but like I guess it was something where I did something bad, but I was oblivious that I did something bad.
I know that's what you're talking about.
And
God.
so
Here we go.
there's a comedian out there, I don't know if you know, his name is Dane Cook. And he does this little bit about the like nothing fight like in the grocery aisle about like peanut butter and jelly, and he's like talking and blah blah blah. Earmuffs if you don't want to hear this word, but like he's like, oh yeah, this is the point in the fight where I like to lean in, and I get some jelly. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally didn't understand what you're talking about the jelly. Like tell the stupid twat to get some jelly. So I heard the word twat, and like in the context of that, I was like, oh, twat means idiot. So cut to, I don't know, a few months later, I'm at my house. Jason's there. I'm sensing a trend. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And so my mom's taking us somewhere, and I was like, oh, I need to go grab a jacket. But my mom was being like, really, like doing something really dumb. And as I was like absentmindedly walking away, I was like, oh, Mom, don't be such a twat. And I just remember
froze.
And I just remember her going, excuse me? And I was like, oh, just like got my jacket, and I came back, and I was like, yeah, don't be a twat. Like, you're being a twat right now. And like I think she could tell that like I didn't know what the word meant, because she was like, do you know what you're saying right now? And I was like, yeah, twat. You're an idiot. And she's like, no. Twat's worse than the C word. And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant at all. So it was one of those moments, but like, it was just because I didn't understand the word and the meaning.
I'm like standing in the living room, and I just like straightened up. My eyes got a little big, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, but I have a companion story with that, where I literally also same situation. Didn't know. I didn't know. Like, Mom taught me about the flow of women one month. Like the moon blood.
Oh, okay.
Communism is what I call it.
9 monthlies.
Yeah, I like to call it communism. It's always my favorite. The Red Scare. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
all right.
It's just my fun thing. It's just fun when an SO goes, "Oh, I'm a commie this week," and I'm like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm a socialist. I like to share." I don't know.
Wow.
I know, but so we're at dinner, out to eat, and I'm with my sister, my mom, and my mom's dating some guy at the time, and we're all eating it. And my mom's being a real B word, like just nagging me. And I just kind of like put down my fork, and I'm like, wow, Mom, are you on your period or something? And like, I remember my mom's boyfriend just like looking down at his food and just starts eating. And I don't think I've ever been I haven't been dragged out of a restaurant as fast, like since my dad like would take me to the restroom to have a talking to. And she was like, what? You don't do that. You don't say that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, you just kind of tell me what this thing is and like effects that it has on the woman's body, like hormones and stuff, but you don't tell me like the social cues of like, hey, don't
bring it up.
Yeah,
don't talk about this.
It's taboo.
Yeah. So I guess that's like, as a kid, that was probably a really good moment.
Yeah.
Of putting my foot in my mouth and shit.
All right, Joe.
God, I'm really trying to think. I'm sure I've had them. My dad is master of pointing them out, as the guys will attest to. Anytime we do something, he'll say, "Well, you fucked up." And that's just how it is. And my dad,
offhand comment.
Yeah, it's a very offhand comment, but it's very poignant. And my dad doesn't want to often swear, but when he does, it gets the point across. Like, he really did. Shoot. I'm trying to think. Boys,
so cold.
Any chance you guys can help me out with this? I'm sure you guys have been there for some of these moments, but I'm just failing right now to think of it. I'm sure it's happened.
I know. I'm trying to think of a moment that I'm like, I don't understand. It's magic. It's black magic. I just got it was my birthday, and I got an REI water bottle, double insulated, and I got cold water in it like almost 6 hours ago, and it's still cold.
Like,
that is magic.
It feels like it just came out of the fridge.
Yeah, it's black magic. It's black magic.
But yeah, I'm really struggling with this moment. I was like listening to you guys, like, yeah, I've got to have something, because
Trying to think.
Nothing that I like recall. Like, I mean. No, I mean, nothing I was like, oh, no. The only times I have like that really is with our mutual friends, Matt and Trish, sometimes. Where I get like awkward. Because they have like their like couple fight. They're married like fight.
It's like where
they're nothing
when mom and dad fights in front
exactly.
Like,
that's how it feels. That's how it feels. And I get so stressed out.
Yeah.
And they say stuff. I mean, they say stuff to each other, but it's not like bad, but it's like in the tone of like when my parents used to fight. So I'm always like,
Panics.
We all know it's like, yeah.
I don't know. It just must mean you're too perfect, Stanley.
I'm not. I try to be very thoughtful when it comes to speaking, and so sometimes that saves me in that regard. But I mess up.
I got it.
Oh,
All right.
I got it.
all right.
Help me out.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And this is actually, there's a couple other like kind of similar follow-up stories.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Someone.
But when he was driving to the camping trip and dropped that text to your SO at the time, I don't know, like, I don't remember the details around it, but he said something, and it
Oh yeah.
it sparked.
It did spark.
It sparked
It
off
wasn't.
a chain
It wasn't
reaction.
a significant other. It was a girl I was interested
But
in.
absolutely, there we go.
It was a girl I was interested in, and I was courting. And
Oh,
and you're being a good friend,
I was. Oh, yeah.
He was.
but
Yeah.
it just did not go well.
It
Like
did not
something
go well.
happened. Like, I don't remember what. Like,
I don't
think of
remember.
the context.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact context, but I just remember like I had to like do some tight roping. Like I was just like I don't.
Some
I was like,
damage control.
Yeah,
I was trying to help Thomas out because this girl was texting
Like he was trying
me
to talk him up.
simultaneously as she was talking to Thomas about, and she was talking to me about Thomas. So me being a good friend, I'm thinking, okay, this is my chance. I'll talk Thomas up, and I'll be nice, and I'll try to just talk my boy up. And what I said, I don't know.
This
If
was
it was
about
just-
5,
if
6
it-
years ago.
Yeah, this was a
5 or
while
6
ago.
years
This was a while ago.
And I don't know if it was just lost in translation. It just didn't come out right, or she just did not particularly care to hear it in the way I said it. But she just was like, "Oh," that's all the text I got. Oh, and then
And I was with Thomas.
and
When-
so
Yeah, Sterling was
I was
storm.
actually
somewhere.
I was
You were
up
going
north.
to California City.
I was up north with my sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were picking up a few things in like Escondido before we headed up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll talk Thomas up before we go, before I'm literally out of like communication
Yeah,
range.
I remember just hanging out with Jason and
then
all of a sudden
Thomas
being
turns
like,
to me and goes, "What did he say?" I'm
know.
like, "I don't know." And Thomas is furiously texting.
Just-
And I call Sterling. I'm
Yeah,
like, "What
Jason
just
called
happened?"
me.
And he's
Like-
like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "What did you just say? What did you say to this girl?" And like, oh,
it was.
It was bad.
I
was,
somehow-
it was about 45 minutes.
Yeah,
of just,
I salvaged it somehow,
tight
but
roping.
like, I was like, I don't even know what I'm apologizing for right now.
but I'm appalled.
But I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
she came in guns.
I don't know what happened, but like, I just want to say I feel like outmatched because you're coming in with 100% of info while you're mad, and I'm just sitting here like with my dick in my hands, going like, I don't know what happened.
I can't remember what I said.
What didn't you? I feel like you gave her crap about like her ability to like navigate or something, because like this was right after the time that she said like I'm stranded, like come help me.
Yeah, and I was
And-
trying to get directions from
And
her,
trying to
and
get
she
directions.
was
And then so like Sterling gave her like a playful like blah blah blah, and like it just
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's because I referenced that Thomas had told me about this. That was it.
Yeah.
It was because Thomas had told me about this story, and because he was hanging out with me at the time, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and she said something about being lost. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know you have trouble making your way around," something of that nature. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, how do you know this? Well, I was just talking to Thomas. That was it. That was literally all I said.
Yeah.
And
it was
just hellfire, scorched earth.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was a good moment. But yeah,
So on another instance where Thomas did the same kind of thing here, like Thomas was with me. No, actually, no, it was not Thomas. It was a mutual friend. I was like kind of courting and really just seeing this like girl. I seen like one time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was interested.
Yeah.
And she was kind of interested in me. It seemed like, and she had a mutual like friend of ours who I was texting, and she indicated that like she was interested in me and was kind of like hinting at something, but we had agreed on like keeping it a secret or something. Like there was
Yeah, it was like low key. I remember. It being
it was
low
like
key,
we don't want to talk about it yet until we kind of know what's going on. And I didn't really care. Like I talked to Thomas about it. He was right with me. But like she had another friend, and they weren't really like, they were kind of like going through a spat or something, I think, at the time. Nothing major, but they were still friends. And so she's like, "Oh, I won't tell her about it." And then that girl texted me and was like, "Oh, so and so is kind of interested in you right now." And we were in line at a Mexican food restaurant. And
Was it? No, was it? It was. We just dropped my aunt off at the airport because that was the same day of. Oh fuck no! In the van.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, I don't remember where we were. I think we were still in line at a Mexican restaurant there. Like when it actually happened. We were in Lakeside.
Oh, yeah, we were devising the text while driving. That's right.
And so we were thinking with this text. We're like, okay, how are we gonna bring up that? Like,
we skipped apart. Yeah, like
I kind of got like the in. You know.
Yeah, we're
like,
we're texting the girl that's into him that he's into as well.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to kind of make like a little flirty, like, hey, like, so I heard you're into me, and you know, I want to know what's kind of going on there.
Yeah, playful.
And so it came to this, like, Thomas was like, how about saying, like, so I heard you can't keep a secret, as like an opener, right?
Like it's an opener.
That's like fortunate.
And I was like, well, what's my follow-up? And he's like, and then you're like, oh, I talked to so-and-so, and she said that you kind of like me, and I thought we were going to talk about that. But that being said, I kind of like you too.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like,
you know, like
I thought it was like...
I'm kind of glad we're on the same page, or something like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of
like very cute, very playful, very light.
Like banter.
Yeah.
Banter. As her voice gets higher and higher.
We played it out too. We were like, okay, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then she would say like something like this, and then you say this.
Like
perfect.
A good playbook.
Yeah.
For how this was going to go down.
We did a couple of variations, so if she threw any curveballs, we were ready.
And so I text her, I'm like, so I hear you can't keep a secret. And she goes, what the hell? Like, all caps, super hard. And then the other friend goes, what did you say to her? She's pissed at me right now. She's screaming at me, like, what happened? And, like, we're just sitting, like, watching my phone just blow up from both of them. I'm, like, looking at Thomas, I'm like, what's my play? I'm so scared. And he's like...
The carefully laid plans of mice and men.
It, like went off course so fast.
Like, I had to, like, call and be like, okay, look, that got out of hand. I apologize.
Yeah, you had to sit down and like, hey, this is what I wanted to do.
This was the game plan that clearly didn't work out. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was good.
Good times. But yeah, we don't. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to remember. Like, maybe it's because I try to blank them out so hard. That's why. Like, I make these mistakes and I just learn the lesson and let's forget.
Just move on. Yeah. Just hide from it all. Oh my gosh, it's so late. It's not even that late. I'm just tired.
That holiday drag though.
It is. I'm tired of thinking about the week that's coming up. So I had a fun thing that happened to me the other day. You know the show Whisker Wars about like the beards and stuff. It was on a while, like forever ago.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So I always, for the longest time, I thought it was Whiskey Wars, because like the guys kind of look like guys who would brew whiskey, you know, make them in barrels and stuff.
I believe it.
And like, so for the longest time, I was like, oh man, I really want to watch that show. Like I like to drink whiskey, and I was like, oh. And then the other day, like it was on something where I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. And I made it like, you know, a couple minutes in, and I realized, oh, this is about like beards and competitions about like people with beards and stuff. There's no whiskey in here.
And maybe they drink whiskey off stage.
Yeah, maybe they drink some whiskey like to help grow their beards, but there's no like the art of brewing whiskey, anything about this show. But like I think that was like for like 3 years. I thought that show was like about
Whiskey Wars.
Yeah,
I actually would have watched that.
Yeah, that sounds really good, right?
Yeah.
But that brought me along the lines of like stuff that you used to like were told or like believed, so you believed for like the longest time. Like I remember distinctly my 5th grade teacher told me that the reason we celebrate July 4th is because all the presidents keep dying on July 4th and scientists couldn't just figure out why.
Oh my god, she did you such a disservice.
I believed that shit until the 7th grade when I was in U.S. history class, and I was like, that's not right.
That's not
a thing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Thanks, Miss Taylor.
That's brutal. Call her out on that one.
That's actually a pretty good topic, though. Like, I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah,
now.
like stuff that you like believed for the longest time, and then you're like, that's not real. What? Yeah.
It's a good subject.
I know there must be some.
There has to be. Like
some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, cover your ears if you're a younger listener. Oh, for the love of God, I hope you're not a younger listener listening to this. But, like, Santa Claus, that was... My parents let me believe that one for probably way longer than I needed to. And the only reason I figured out that Santa wasn't real was actually because I figured out the Easter Bunny wasn't real.
Yeah, we should have done spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have the saddest Santa Claus story.
Oh God. All right. Let me get. All right. So
Get it out.
Get out your
yeah.
hankies.
Let me get out this. Yeah. So Easter rolls along. I'm like, okay. I'm beginning to have suspicions about this giant bunny who's been bringing me gifts. Again, this should point to the interest of it. I was probably in
school?
sixth or seventh grade.
Oh my god, that was way longer than I thought.
What?
I was joking with the high school.
No, I was probably in.
You're older. Okay.
Yeah, I was old. They let me believe, and
Yeah.
around maybe it was fifth grade, but it's still pretty damn close to
Yeah.
being older.
Yeah.
And,
Not ideal.
Yeah, not ideal, but at the same time, God bless my parents for letting me believe in something like that, and that I would believe something like that. I guess attests to the kind of child I was, but yeah. So I'm like, all right, if the Easter Bunny always figures out how I know, and I don't write the Easter Bunny a list or anything, he just always knows what I want as a gift. I'm not going to tell anybody what I want this
Wait
year.
a second, does your Easter bunny bring you gifts?
You never got Easter gifts?
You didn't get gifts.
I got Easter candy, like lots of Easter candy.
Oh
What?
shit!
No, you
I
get-
used to get Easter like baskets.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
baskets.
Like
get-
with
Yeah, like
They didn't have, like,
one
candy,
gift.
like a couple of gifts,
Yeah, we
like
do
an
gifts.
action figure or
we
something.
do like gifts at Easter. Yeah, we get like one kind of like bigger gift and like a couple of like small toys
Easter
and then
bunny brought
candy.
me an iPad.
Oh no, but
no, nothing like that.
see, I wanted Gundams had just gotten really big, but the Gundam
Is this
models
the
had just
famous
come out.
Wing Gundam
Yeah, Wing Gundam, man.
Good
That's
old Wing
exactly
Gundam.
right.
that
And
never pays off?
yeah, so I really wanted the Wing Gundam model where you break out the pieces and you build it. And so I was like, all right, I'm not going to tell
That's
anybody.
Scythe
That's
Death Scythe Hell.
oh, that's a good Gundam. Yeah,
Coolest Gundam.
heavy arms also cool.
Heavy Arms was cool.
Yeah,
But
weapons.
what's his face? Hua?
Hiro Yui.
No, yeah, there's Hiro Yui, but was it? And then Duo was
Death Scythe's pilot.
But what was the Asian kid with the super long braid that was
Oh.
in Heavy Arms?
That wasn't heavy arms.
Was he not in Heavy Arms?
No.
No, well, he was in the Dragon one.
Zhao Long Gundam.
Yeah, who was in Heavy Arms?
I can't remember his name. I remember the other one was the Sandrock Gundam, and his name
Yeah,
was
he was the
Catra.
blonde kid.
Yeah, who was
Catra.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weird fan.
There's a lot of weird
about
fanfics
Hiro
out there
and
about
Catra.
yeah.
But who was in Heavy Arms? Now I'm like freaking out.
I don't know. Only if you have
Poodle.
this little computer in your hand that you can look it up
I don't
on.
know. Anyway,
I just figured we just jawed
So, yeah.
at it for a while.
Yeah.
So that was-
I've never
that
watched
was-
Gundam, so I can't
What?
help.
Watch Gundam?
I know.
oh, Gundam was
God.
great. But yeah, so I was like, all right, I really want this Wing Gundam model. I'm not going to tell anybody. My parents asked me, hey, so what do you want for Easter? There's nothing really I want. Like, all right, I'm going to think about it really hard so the Easter Bunny will know. And so then when Easter rolled around and there was nothing in my basket but like a few little toys like what my parents like guessed I would like. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, and then finally I went to my dad and mom one day when my sister was asleep or something. I was like, guys, is the Easter Bunny real? And you could tell they were very crestfallen, and of course my little heart was breaking, and I was weeping, crocodile tears.
Yeah.
Heavy
Another
Arms
moment.
was Troa.
Troa, that's right, Troa. Weird name.
Welcome to our Gundam fan cast.
Yeah, Gundam
I mean, this-
podcast.
We could probably get on. some
Actually,
pretty
yeah,
serious
I'll be honest, I could
I-
talk some Gundam.
I would have to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Totally, is it on Netflix?
No, it's not actually.
It's
You
like
should
one of those
Crunchyroll.
series. Oh yeah, Crunchyroll.
You should find.
Yeah.
The Gundam was a fun show.
Gundam was great.
It started off pretty weird though. I'll be honest.
Things were a little convoluted and weird.
It
Come on,
starts
the
out
guy
at,
with
like,
the mask.
at like the academy with like Hiro,
Yeah.
and it's just a while. It's like it's a while before anything happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played
It's like an
Dynasty
all
Warriors
boys
Gundam.
Academy.
Is that the same? Dynasty Warriors
I
Gundam.
mean, it's got
it's
like,
got
the
a Gundam in
cast.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
There's been a lot of Gundam shows too. Lots of them. I
Christmas.
watched them all.
My Santa story.
Okay.
I lived in a cul-de-sac. My little sister had just gotten this red tricycle, and she was really excited. Santa brought her this red tricycle, and I must have been third grade, and we're still down opening presents. And my dad asked me to if I could throw away the trash and recycling. I'm like, sure. So I bring the trash cans around, and I open the recycling bin, and right on the top is the box
Oh.
to my sister's red tricycle that Santa brought her. And I was like, what? And I remember crossing the street to my neighbor's house where my mom was, and all the women were sitting around drinking coffee around the table. I remember walking up to my mom and just looking at her going, is Santa real? And the look, she didn't say anything. She just looked at me like her heart was broken.
Yeah.
Oh, this is This is the moment. And I remember just like crying and
Oh, yeah.
running out of the front door,
Bawling.
like to my room and like just throwing myself on the bed and like the world was like destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It's always through research. That's where you get it. But yeah, no, I was bawling. And my mom and dad, they talked me in their garage at the time so that my sister wouldn't hear. It's like, and Sterling, you have to let your sister believe. And I was like, okay. So then it became,
the three of you guys.
three of us.
keeping the dream alive.
But like, it's not so much about the actual person. It's about what they represent. Is how they told it to me. And so that was a great relief to me, just hearing that Santa represents
Coca-Cola.
giving. Well, there's that too, but yeah. Oh god. Anyway, but yeah. So and that was a bit of a balm, but still, yeah. That was a rough one. That was a rough one.
It's never great. But on that really sad note, you guys, it's another episode in the bag.
Yeah.
We fucking did it. Episode 9 in the can. Thank you again for listening. As always, I'm extremely humbled that you are taking the time to actually listen to what we're saying and talking about. Still boggles my mind that people are out there listening. To you, that one person that lives in Illinois, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Thanks for downloading. Hey, and
let your
to
friends
the
know, man.
and to the two of you that live in Washington that have downloaded us, hey, what's up to you? Thanks. And to everyone else who lives in San Diego and Southern California, and I can't distinguish, hey, what's up to you guys too?
Thank you all.
Thank you, seriously. But yeah, that's like I said, it's going to do it for us. Please check us out on the Twitter at Chubby Cat Crew. I post stuff up on there all the time. You can also check us out on our personal Twitters. Jason, do you have a Twitter yet?
Do not.
You can check me out at
Fight
Thomas.
the power.
You can check me out at Thomas M. Conyers. You could be at Whiskey. I'm sure that's already taken, but
You can find something.
you can find something that like
Whiskey in your coffee.
something like
Yeah.
along those lines.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. Sterling, your handle?
I'm at the Rock Bin.
Yeah. We got a Facebook. We got the Tums. Oh, we have Instagrams. We got that social shit. Tumblr. I don't get Tumblr sometimes. Tumblr and Reddit.
Tumblr can be a dark place.
Yeah.
If you folks are interested in a Pinterest, I'll put a Pinterest up.
We'll
if you
pin
want.
that shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
we'll pin the hell out
you
of
do
it.
love some
As
pins.
always,
do
you can
love
also
Pinterest.
check us out at our website, chubbycat.net, where we post up our episodes up there every Wednesday. Also, just post blog stuff. I haven't posted anything in a week or so, but I'll have to post some more. And keep your ears out open for some test shows that we're going to be possibly running here in the next couple of months or so, and see if we can get some traction there with those.
And then always look forward to your Chubby Cat episode 10.
Yeah.
At the 10 mark, I feel really good about that.
Yeah, double
Excited.
digits, right? We're only going to 10 episodes, right? And then that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose
It's a nice round number.
Yeah, just end it at 10. Like 10 out of 10.
10 and done.
Because I mean,
Strange.
you got to rate that. Like, oh, what'd you rate that podcast? Oh, 10 out of 10. They only have 10 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was trying to be deep or not, but it was something.
It was something. But yeah, as always, you guys, thanks for listening, and make sure you rub a dub chub.